That's a nice clean shave right there. Smooth as a baby's ace. Maybe not the best. Maybe not the best thing to say right now with what I'm about to tell you about. Let me just show you this tweet. We're gonna go down the rabbit hole a little bit. From Paul Sperry. At what point did Mueller know that his star collusion witness, United Arab Emirates Crown Prince advisor, Mr. Nader, George Nader, by the way, cited 100 times in the report, that this guy was actually trafficking in child pornography, including boys as young as 3 years old, on his computer, and by the way, his iPhone, which we'll get to in a minute, which agent seized and Mueller began interviewing him in January of 2018? How long have you guys known about this? Since January 2018, a year and a half ago. And he was allowed to walk free. He was given immunity. He was given, I already read this morning, he was given immunity, not for the child stuff. During the probe, during his questioning, when they grabbed him in 2018, because they had warrants to get him, and they grabbed 3 iPhones, and the interesting thing for me was it was initially listed, and I looked at the FBI's basically affidavit, I'm looking at the unsealed records now, and it said an iPhone, like an iPhone 5, an iPhone 6, and an iPhone 7 or something like that. Or it was like 2 iPhone 6s and a 7. I think it was a 5, 6, and a 7. And, they were not looking for that stuff on his devices. They were looking at stuff that would implicate Trump in the Russia collusion nonsense. However, upon inspecting these devices, we found something else that's illegal, child pornography related stuff, videos and things, which he describes what he saw in the affidavit. Or really the filing, United States versus George Nader, whatever, the official, when you serve somebody, the official lawsuit, and describes in some little detail what the videos show these kids doing. Now, the interesting thing was he got immunity. It said so. He got immunity. And, hang on. It wasn't for that. It can't be because they're grabbing him now to charge him in June of 2019, a year and a half later. What did he get immunity for? The deep state's trying to go after Trump now. Like I just showed you the other day. The deep state grabbed Paul Manafort. He didn't do federal crimes. He did state crimes. So you can't pardon him, Mr. President. We're now moving him to whatever the prison's called. Mob bosses, mass murderers go to this prison. And they're going to put him over there for making a false claim on a mortgage application. Why he needed to use the money for, refi. What? Yeah, he needs to go in solitary confinement now also when we move over there. They're going to try to get him to break and say, hey, as soon as you give us anything on Trump, wink, wink, we'll find a way to let you out of here. We'll also find a way to give you much less of a sentence. You served good time in here, enough time you can be released. We just need something on Trump. That's what they're doing. So what did I say the other day? Oh, the deputy at the Parkland shooting who sat there, did nothing for 45 minutes. When other deputies arrive, he instructs them, stay 500 foot away from the building. Don't even go in. They want to help. Okay, don't go in. I'm going to stay out here, not do my job, and you guys stay out too. Why didn't that deputy want those other deputies to go in that building and see whatever it is they were going to see? So what has happened? That deputy has been arrested and is charged with some crimes that could lead him to 97, I think, years in jail. I said this is a tit for a tat. Manafort, oh, you did that to Manafort? Guess what? And they went after the Parkland guy, which is very interesting to me because you know what I think about some of those shootings, with at least what the news tells us sometimes. So we have another part of the tit for tat. instant retaliation for that. George Nader, as CNN, well, I mean, look at CNN's thing here. Right off the bat, you search for the word George Nader on YouTube or on Google. The first look to show you how biased this criminal Google is. CNN, CBS, The Daily Caller, MSNBC, CNN. Child porn charges for Trump-tied Mueller witness raised questions. George Nader will stay in jail until detention hearing Friday in Virginia. Mueller witness George Nader remains in custody. So when I click on CNN and I'm watching what CNN has to say, as you scroll down and read this, basically a Whitehouse tied, affiliated whatever guy's been arrested on child porn. Well, it's interesting because one of the other links that comes right up is Wikipedia. Shocker, because we know that Wikipedia founder, or the main guy that runs Wikipedia, you could say is part of the leftist cabal type by many of the words he's said and publicly stated online. You can tell he's one of these people. So I said to myself, wow, there's already a George Nader, businessman, link on this guy. Huh. And as I read this to you, ask yourself, has he always been a deep state operative? And they didn't care about his child porn or anything. He got off the hook, because this isn't his first time, by the way. He's done this a few times and has not really gotten in any trouble. So did they send in another one of their deep state operatives to go into the Trump campaign and try to get them something? Try to get Trump to say something, try to get his associates to say something. Oh, we got him on tape for collusion. We'll send in our best asset. Remember Stormy Daniels, porn star? We'll send in the Cobra. That didn't work. Creepy porn star lawyer, Michael Avenatti. That didn't work. Let's send in, even before that, let's send in people to go influence George Papadopoulos, who was in the Trump campaign, and try to get him to say things that we're going to record. And he wouldn't say them. And they would basically, well, we've got dirt on Hillary. Do you guys want it? No, that's okay, thanks. We've got this. You want that? No, that's okay, no thanks. They tried and tried. All right, send in the bombshell blonde, like the movie The Matrix, when the red lady in red dress walks by and Neo looks back, and then boom, gun in the face. Neo, were you paying attention to that or the lady in the red dress? Oh, I was. The kid's like, yeah, I know. I put that in there for everybody. It's pretty good, huh? Right? They sent in the lady with the red dress to these guys. And it still didn't work. They could, even for sex and everything, it wouldn't work. So somehow, I'm going to just speculate and say, in my opinion, they sent in George Nader to get into the Trump campaign, work with some of the officials there, whatever, so that maybe they could use that at some point in the future if they needed to pull out the big guns and say, oh my gosh, the Trump administration is tied to a child porn crazy dude. Oh my God. Except there's a problem. In the deep state, again, like QAnon has said, the deep state, these people are stupid. We have everything on them. They're stupid. So let me read you the history of this guy. And notice how he's been able to walk scot-free for decades with the same child porn background he's had for decades. He's a dual citizen, Lebanese citizen and United States citizen. And he was given immunity by the Mueller team in January of 2018. Doesn't say immunity for what, but it certainly wasn't for the child porn stuff, because that was found for other purposes. We were looking for other information on his seized iPhones. But what I was going with the iPhone story is, in the court documents, it says there's an additional entry that says we need to clarify that it was listed as an iPhone 5, iPhone 6, and an iPhone 6 Plus. The corrected thing is that it was an iPhone 7, not a 6 Plus. So I'm wondering how that mistake happened, because when I read the whole thing, I don't think it said 6 Plus anywhere. So who made that mistake? And does that have something to do with planted evidence? The fact that this guy's already done this Why would you need to plant any evidence? He's already got the background. But he didn't pull through for the Mueller team. He was cited at least 100 times. No, and again, this is back in 2018. They didn't convict and could not convict Trump for collusion, obstruction, nothing. So this guy, Nader, is pretty much useless to the deep state. And maybe they're a little upset that you couldn't even make something up. You couldn't even make something up and give it to us. You little child pedo guy, we're going to get you now. We'll go for you now. A year and a half later. Again, what was the immunity granted for? If he's granted immunity, that implies, not even implies, it means you've done something that we can arrest you for in relation basically to this matter, typically. And even if it's not in relation to this matter, we can still grant you blanket immunity. So they gave him immunity for something. My question is, which has not been answered, what was the immunity granted for? Did he do something illegal during his time trying to get the Trump team to do something or say something that was unsuccessful, and that's what he's being granted immunity for? Oh, you actually broke the law trying to get Trump and them campaign guys to do this. You're going to be granted immunity because we're hoping they did do that, but they didn't. So we'll give you immunity anyways, but we still need you to say something. And maybe he just wasn't willing to lie for whatever reason. So listen and ask yourself, as I'm done reading this, did the deep state send this guy over to the Trump campaign like they sent everybody else who we already know now is factual, not me speculating, Conspiracy Joe, just, I think they might have sent this Nader guy over there maybe because, no. It is a fact now that the documents have been released publicly that prove James Comey, during his top position at the FBI, the whole Trump investigation, they were sending people over there to try and get people in the Trump team to say something on tape, on video or on audio tape, recorded, to say certain things to make it sound like they were colluding. And even though, as we have recently seen with Mueller's own redactions, not even redactions, just cutting out key word-for-word phrases people were using, like General Flynn, oh, we just removed that whole sentence. Well, damn it, if that sentence was left in there, the way you're making the sound now goes out the window because he clarifies right there in the sentence. Boom. That would exonerate him immediately. You guys left that out, right? So they have a history of putting plants in these places to try to get them to say something. So is it too far of a stretch of our imagination that George Nader, the pedo, was put over in the Trump campaign, not in the campaign, but to talk to the people in the campaign, to try to get them to say something or do something, right? And it was unsuccessful. So now the deep state is pissed. Now we're going to go after you for the things we found on your phone a year and a half ago that we were going to not tell anybody about if you would have just worked with us and made something up even for Trump. But you refused, and now you're screwed. My question also would be, though, if they found something on his phones, the iPhone 7 in particular, child porn related, it's been a year and a half. When they seized your phones, you the pedophile person, George Nader, you know what's on your phones. You know what videos and or pictures are on your phones. And you're probably sweating bullets. Oh my God, they're going to see that. They have a warrant for all these electronic devices that I own. I had to give them up. They took them. They seized them. I didn't erase any of my crazy stuff on there. Oh my God, they're going to see it. You already know that's going through your mind. So you know that they know you have it. Which also means, to me anyways, my opinion, they told you, we're not going to worry about that. Or you knew, I'm fine. I'm a made man. I've been working with the deep state for a long time. They're never going to do this against me. I'm one of their guys. They use me from time to time. They even pay me. I'm sure. I bet we'll find out that this guy's been paid at some point in the last many decades. So George Arif Nader, a Lebanese-American businessman, lobbyist for Americans, politicians, and convicted sex offender. And by the way, I'm going to show you something too that's interesting. The Wayback Machine of this Wikipedia page. When was this page actually created? How long has it been here? Has it been modified and edited? If so, when? I think you're going to find some interesting information. So let me finish reading it first. He has acted as an unofficial liaison between Washington politicians and Middle Eastern officials. Nader is an advisor to Crown Prince Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan of the United Arab Emirates and a consultant. Remember, hold on. Blackwater Eric Prince is a staunch Republican and Trump supporter, big time, and has even vocally said something huge one time. Actually, he said he knows who Q is, and when you find out who Q is, it'll blow you away. It'll be unbelievable. Not in the bad way. So the fact that Wikipedia is making sure we know that he was a advisor to the UAE and a consultant to Blackwater founder Eric Prince, just, Wikipedia wants you to know that. In January 2018, Special Counsel Robert Mueller's investigators questioned Nader in connection to suspicions that the UAE had been involved with President Trump's 2016 campaign. Nader was sentenced in the 1990s for transporting child pornography publications and imprisoned in 2003 for sexually abusing 10 boys in the Czech Republic. So he's hands-on, this guy. He's not just watching. And he's a lobbyist for U.S. politicians. He's a convicted sex offender. Are you shocked? Not in the least likely. Who was our president in the 90s, by the way? Oh, Papa Bush. Papa Bush and Bill Clinton. Who was our president in 2003? Oh, Papa Bush's son, Bush Jr., George W. And after him, Barack. You think this guy had been working with our politicians? All of them? Absolutely. And as we've just found out, he continued into recent times. They're questioning him about Trump, Russia stuff. Well, why is he being brought in? So this guy gets around in the political parties, clubs. In June 2019, so here we are today, he was arrested and again charged with allegedly transporting child pornography and bestiality in January of 2018. Again, a year and a half later. You want to know what's interesting? They let him go. After finding that information in January of 2018, they let him go with no charges. And a year and a half later, he's coming back for, he's got to go to New York for a checkup appointment on a heart condition he had. That's what they said. Some heart attack thing. He had to stand. Something was going on. He couldn't do it anywhere in the world. He had to come back to New York to get that thing taken care of. And they arrested him on those charges now. So they let him go for a year and a half. Let this criminal pedophile who was caught abusing boys himself in the Czech Republic in 2003, he's totally fine to come over to the U.S. We're going to investigate. He's going to help us with the Trump investigation. We're going to let him go. He's going to be free for a year and a half to even come back because he's a dual citizen to America and potentially hurt children here. And one of the previous things that he got nailed for was hush hush. It might be in the Wikipedia thing or possibly the other thing I read, but I'll get to it if it's here. Prosecutors were going to go after him for some more child sex abuse, but decided because he's such a key asset, he's such a big player in Middle East affairs, the prosecutors decide we'll keep this case hush hush. Nobody will know about it. So again, the prosecutors would allow, and this is years ago, I'm not talking now, years ago, another case related to child pornography and abuse of children. Let him go. He's such a big asset to us. He's such a big asset. This is before Trump's administration. He's a big asset. We're going to let him go. He could be harming your child, my child, children, anybody's children, not even in America, anywhere. And as a matter of fact, he has been. Got it nailed again in 2003. But he's such an asset, we won't tell the American people. We'll keep that hush hush. Because if the American people hear this and hear that we're still working with him, they're going to flip out. Well, Robert Mueller, who's pissed off in the deep state, they're going to go use this guy. Now, a guy tied to the Trump administration, tied to the White House, child pornography charges. Oh my God, Trump. But they also had to show their whole hand, which shows this guy has a history of this abuse, and our effing government, before Trump, has been allowing this to continue on. Little baby charges, he's released early, no problem, and can still work with politicians and lobbyists and come into this country and out freely. Oh, we caught him again, guys. Caught him again. Well, just keep it quiet. He's such an asset to the Middle East affairs for as far as we're concerned. Just keep that hush. So a prosecutor can choose what the United States citizens get to know about people who commit crimes in our country and when we don't get to know. They can just keep it hush hush. Apparently so. Where did my mind go when I got red-pilled for my first time? Oh my God, if they lied to me about that, then what about this? Or 9/11, or what about that? Oh my God, everywhere I'm looking was a lie. If they lied about all of that, I want to find out everything now I've been lied about. I'm living in a fantasy land. I thought I lived in the greatest country in the world. We're free. Right? Red-pilled. Holy crap. So, let me go there with you. If they're able to hide this kind of stuff, the prosecutors in our country, God help us all for the things some of them are hiding from us right now, in which this pales in comparison of in which people are walking free because they did quick time and got loose and had a little plea deal, plea bargain, immunity was granted, but the whole case has been hush hush the whole entire time. Nader was born in Lebanon. As a teenager, he moved to the U.S. Not knowing any English, he went on to attend Cleveland State University. He identifies, this is the most, oh, they got to put this in your face for sure. He identifies as a Christian. From 1981 through the 1990s, Nader was the editor of Middle East Insight. The magazine ceased publication in 2002. During the George H.W. Bush administration, again, Papa Bush, he helped free American hostages in Lebanon after the Iran-Contra affair. Well, that's because the Iran-Contra affair got us into that mess to begin with. We're doing drug running with swapping of guns. The Iran-Contra scandal. We got to get someone who can help us. The Bush administration. Oh my God, they found out this criminal activity I was responsible for doing behind the scenes. Pedo guy can get us out of this. Hey, pedo guy, thanks for helping us out. During the Clinton administration, Nader tried unsuccessfully to broker an Israeli-Syrian peace agreement working with S.D. Lauder and Ronald Lauder. In the 2000s, Nader left Washington, where he was cushy and at home, I'm sure, where most pedophiles stay, by the way, and spent most of his time in the Middle East, especially in Iraq after the 2003 invasion of Iraq. Since then, he has volunteered with U.S. politicians to act as a shadow diplomat. Oh, you mean like what the shadow government, former employees of the U.S. government are doing now to undermine President Trump. John Kerry still working with Iran, bunch of shadow group people working with other countries, probably because they're telling them, just please, hold on. Please don't tell us, don't blow the whistle on the things we were doing. We will get the government back in 2020. Trust us, just don't do anything yet. Keep quiet. Work with us. That's why these people are undermining the president right now and begging Iran and all these other countries, just sit tight, give us till 2020. We'll get the presidency back under Democratic control. In my opinion, that's what they're doing. So this guy is already a shadow diplomat. He's not an official diplomat. Nope, he's the guy the guy we go to when we need dirt, when we need to make up stuff, when we need to do whatever. He's our guy. Again, helped with the Iran-Contra scandal, say no more. Anyways, he's volunteered with U.S. politicians to act as a shadow diplomat, connecting them to Middle Eastern officials. Eric Prince, founder of security firm Blackwater, hired Nader to help with contracts with the Iraqi government. In a 2010 deposition, Prince identified Nader as a business development consultant. Right, so this guy, for whatever reason, he's the go-to guy. And nobody seems to care about his past. In August of 2016, Nader met with Donald Trump Jr. So here we go. Oh, whoa. Nader, Nader met with Donald Trump Jr. at Trump Tower, offering assistance to his father's presidential campaign. Oh, I'm Nader. I've got Middle East connection, and I'd like to offer you guys assistance. They sent him in. The deep state sent him in the same way they sent in the people for George Papadopoulos, Carter Page, etc. This was no different. Case closed. And it didn't work out, and they're pissed off at the guy. Now we'll wait a year and a half. We're going after you for your little child porn fetish you have to deal with. That never goes away. When you're a wackadoodle, you're a wackadoodle for life. The fetishes you like for life. You can't take it away. Oh, I'm a changed man. I'm a changed man. Yeah. Right. Nader served as an envoy representing Saudi Arabia's crown prince. Blah, blah, blah. Nader attended a December 2016 meeting in New York between the UAE officials and President-elect Donald Trump's associates. Again, that's what they were doing. All the associates. They went to Jared Kushner, Michael Flynn, and Steve Bannon. Shocker. Isn't that amazing? So, child pornography and sexual abuse convictions. He's been charged with multiple crimes involving exploitation of minors, blah, blah, blah. I'll just quickly tell you a few things, just brief. 1985, something in the Netherlands. Although that one was dismissed in court because they didn't get the search warrant right. So he got dismissed on that one. Federal court in Virginia, 1991, gave him a 6-month sentence on a felony charge of transporting from Germany videotapes of boys between 13 and 14 years old. Not just videotapes, you know what kind of videotapes. Here it is. Prosecutors agreed to put that case under seal due to the extremely sensitive nature of Mr. Nader's work in the Middle East. In 2003, he was convicted in Czech. Again, we talked about that one. A spokesperson of the court told prosecutors that it occurred between 1999 and 2002. In one case, at his room in Hilton Prague Hotel, he requested, well, I'm not going to say what that says, something with a 14-year-old boy. June 3rd, 2019, he was arrested by federal agents just a few days ago for possession of child pornography as well as bestiality, and for the second time, transportation of child porn. These charges stem from his January 2018 questioning by agents, federal agents, working on behalf of special counsel Robert Mueller, at which time the child pornography was incidentally found on one of his 3 cell phones as agents inspected it pursuant to another warrant for other reasons. He was ordered to be held pending his extradition to Virginia. Right, now he has been. No one knew this happened in 2018 January. They let this sicko potentially abuse people, kids, as in people, kids, across this planet for the last year and a half. He had the opportunity to do it, and you know darn well he probably has, because he has a history of it. It's just, how many times did the person get caught? When you find out how often they do something, oh my God, you got caught 3 times. Yeah, but I've done it 50. Whatever it may be. Oh, I got caught DUI second time. Oh, second time, really? How often do you drink and drive, man? Too many to count. I got a problem, but yeah, they caught me twice, right? So it's not like the only 2 times you ever did it, you got caught with the DUI. They let him go. Robert Mueller, congratulations. You sick bastard yourself. You let this criminal go who potentially has been hurting kids over the last year and a half. Congratulations. I hope you pat yourself on the back on that one. So let's go look at the Wayback Machine. Wayback Machine. And just see when that particular Wikipedia page with all that new information was A, put up, how long has it been around, and B, when has it been modified? Saved 13 times between July 13th, 2018 and June 5th, 2019. But all that history I just told you about goes back to the 90s, potentially 80s. Iran-Contra was actually 80s and 90s, I think. It's been going on for that long until it got caught. And they only got something from July 13th, 2018? Interesting. And then the most recent updates were of this year, 2019. Last update was in April 1st and 9th. May 26th, June 4th, June 5th. So let's go back to this year, January. January 20th, March 31st, April 1st, April 9th, May 26th, June 4th, and June 5th. That's pretty interesting. That this Wikipedia page, prior to the last few days, so forget June 4th and 5th, let's just wipe that off. But May 26th, April 9th, April 1st, March 31st, January 20th this year, there are little edits happening to this individual George Nader's Wikipedia page. Nothing new's been happening since this time. Why is there little edits happening on his page with no new information until June? So what I would expect to see is like maybe the 2018 entries, which I haven't even looked at. There's only 2, it looks like, from 2018. Why is there all these edits right now this year? Because the deep state is getting ready to go after the guy. Oh, we got to add that little piece, take that little piece out. Let's put this in there. So they got this wonderful expose and Wikipedia ready to go. And again, when I search for the guy's name, just look at my Google search results. Front and front, top story. Oh my gosh. And this is a Mueller witness. When we hear the word Mueller witness, oh, that's someone against Trump. What does he have to say? Oh my gosh. That means he was privy to something that Trump team did, and the Mueller team needed to question him, so he must have dirt on Trump. So here's the actual results of websites. Oh, CNN. Of course, fake news, the fakest of them all, who got busted recently over and over again. Google seems to think, no, they're still our utmost authority as far as content's concerned. We want you to see that first. Kind of like when you step off the airplane. As soon as you walk out that little hallway thing. CNN, turn right, CNN, turn left, CNN, go down the hallway, CNN. Next one, CBS News. Next one, Wikipedia. Washington Post, Fox News, Snopes, of course. Now this is interesting. Fact check. Oh, is this that guy standing next to Bill Clinton in the water on Pedophile Island near Jeffrey Epstein? Is this? Oh, you know what? Snopes is going to say. A photograph shows former President Bill Clinton with convicted sex offender George Nader. False. False. Not true. A set of photographs showing President whatever. They're saying this is him back then. Bottom line, they sent in a deep state operative, like they sent in numerous other ones, to get Trump campaign officials to say and do something so they can nail him later for collusion. They all failed, including this guy. They gave this guy immunity in January of 2018 for something related to the Mueller investigation, and then waited a year and a half, let him go. Yeah, you're free to go, even though we found this stuff on your laptop and or iPhone. They would have immediately been able to get another warrant, arrest him, he's convicted right away. Nope, you're free to go, sir. Year and a half, have fun. Go fondle and destroy other kids' lives while you're out of free. Again, congratulations, Mueller. You sick son of a gun. Take care.